Moved by Commissioner Epperson. Second by Commissioner Escaday. Any corrections to minutes?
I didn't know.
Please vote. Okay. Without exception. Are there any agenda additions? None at this time.
That's it.
Special resolutions,
Have none.
communiques and reports.
Tracy?
Yes, ma'am. We just had one reminder to all the commissioners. We have preparations underway for our third annual legislative luncheon that's going to take place on the 3rd of April at 11:30 a.m. at the Petroleum Club. So, this is our third annual event of doing this, and we kind of meet with the legislators, all the legislators from the Northwest delegation, and kind of give them our priorities for the year. So that date and time is the 3rd of April at the Petroleum Club at 11:30 a.m. And we'll be discussing our priorities for the upcoming legislative session. So if you could please plan to come, we appreciate it. And if you are going to attend, please let me know, so we can let Carrie know. We have the RSVP at the Petroleum Club, so we'll have appropriate number seating set up for us. Thank you so much. That concludes my report, ma'am, for today.
Wow. Any requests from commissioners? Commissioner Epperson?
Mr. Wilson, in light of the legislative luncheon, maybe upon next year, if the occasion arises again where we have to meet with them, could we consider maybe having a dinner, an afternoon dinner,
Yes, sir, we will.
sometime that may allow the ones that may not can come in day chance to, get rid of their duties and then have maybe an even more relaxed atmosphere at night or something.
Sounds like
Could we look at that maybe in the future? Also, if I may, could I get the amount of fees that the JPs or the constables are responsible to, like, don't we get, 5%, Miss Haley? What do we get from the JPs and the constables?
I'm not real sure. I think it is 5%.
Okay, whatever that percentage for 2007 and 2008, could I get the amounts that we received from the JPs and the constables, please? And Mr. Glass, is Mr. Glass in?
Yes, sir, yes.
Okay. Did you find anything relative to the Bolo Road?
How much we get?
Money. It is, that is a private road, and so would have to be with them on that. I mean, we have it's not a parish road.
Okay, right.
And Rolling Ridge is.
Okay. But just my thoughts relative to speaking with the gentleman, is there a possibility that we could meet with the homeowners on Rolling Ridge, as well as who the Borough Road is for, and maybe see if that may be an option, if some kind of agreement may be, worked out, because we got a situation, I think, where it's highly populated. Maybe we see if we can get them to travel the road that's least populous, if we could possibly do that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be glad to meet with them and see if that's a possibility. It'd be totally up to the private landowner, though.
Right. Now the parish maintains Rolling Ridge? That's
Correct. Yes, sir.
Okay, I will. Thank you, sir.
It's the people that are coming.
Okay.
Any other requests? I'm sorry.
Mr. Wilson, I'd also like to thank you for the information that you provided relative to the demographics and the information on the General Motors plant, the economic and financial impact that it has on Caddo Parish. That's all I have.
Any other commissioner requests? Any communiques from commissioners? Commissioner Cox?
Some of you may have got your Louisiana magazine in the mail yesterday, and at the request of last year of myself, I asked if we could redo our page. I was extremely pleased with whoever did that.
Anita.
And she here?
She's upstairs.
Tell her she did an excellent job and made our page stand out. So, good job. Well done.
Especially with that.
A good-looking group of 12 people in there, too.
I was going to say that. I know the guy first from the right is pretty good.
I also wanted to remind commissioners on this Tuesday, the 24th, we are the guests at the Tuesday morning breakfast at the Holiday Inn, Caddo Parish Commission, as well as the staff. And also, we have plans, some other events, our commissioner retreat on Friday, and so I just want to remind you all of those two particularly. Next, Mrs. Spears.
Yes, you have a letter from Fire District Number 2 requesting the appointment of Mr. Alonzo Stewart to that board. That's all I have under communications. Next, visitors.
We need a motion to suspend rules.
So move. Second.
Without exception. I have a few cards here. The first one is Mr. Bill Hardin. If you would come forward, Mr. Hardin, and state your address, your name and your address for the record. You have 3 minutes, sir.
My name is Bill Hardin. My address is 11024 Mays Road in Bethany, Louisiana. And I got 3 minutes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What I was, I've experienced a well being drilled on my property, and some of the things that they did, they use the bathroom everywhere. They throw trash out everywhere. And to this day, it's been a couple of years since they've done the well, but they're drilling the well close to my house. And I still suffer from, they have beer parties. I live on a dead-end road. Every night, somebody's drinking a 12-pack of beer. They throw out all their styrofoam plates and cups, and you have to clean up. Every 2 weeks, I got to go out there with a bag, clean it all up. You're welcome to come out and take a look anytime to see what they do. But they are some of the messiest people in the world. Some of the things that I had problems with in the past with Greystone Oil and Gas, when they had the blowout on the Turner well a year and a half ago, it took me about 6 months to find out who had their insurance. So if y'all going to do a new thing with permits, you can ask for proof of insurance to be on file for anybody to look at. Another thing is, don't issue a permit to a drilling company that has outstanding lawsuits against them in Caddo Parish, because that's Caddo Parish citizens that have problems with that particular drilling company, tearing up property and not putting fences back. Or maybe you can have an arbitration between the drilling company and the landowners, something like that. But you got the power of the permit, so that would be a thing. No drilling on dead-end roads, because people get trapped when they have a blowout. They can't escape. Maybe at the very end of the road, yes, but anywhere that they block access for people to escape in case of a blowout. I've been involved in a blowout. Also, a drilling company, instead of being responsible for the trash within 100 foot of the well bore, just go ahead and expand that to 2 miles, because they throw their trash out before they get to the job site. You have hundreds of people working at a well. Every one of them is drinking and eating and throwing the trash out. It's a big mess. Only experienced oil and gas people to be allowed to be on the drill site, because at my house, when they were trying to blew out, it was because they had a temporary worker out there who didn't know the difference between compressed gas coming out of a well bore that sounds like 4 jet engines. He thought that was a compressed air leak, because he said he didn't smell any gas. Okay, I've experienced that. Porta potties, they have them, but they don't use them because they're filthy. There ought to be a thing that says all human waste is going to be hauled off the drilling site. That would make them, because I've experienced it. I've seen human waste flowing out of a trailer, a mudlog trailer, flowing out on the ground, going into a pit on my property. And have a set fee of $500 for anybody evacuated from their home in an emergency. After 4 hours, it's automatic, $500. That way, you get evacuated, you don't know where to go, you know what you do, you're trying to call Greystone, you're trying to call and find out what's going on, nobody knows. So a cent fee, if somebody had to evacuate their house, then they They'd know after 4 hours, they could just go to a hotel of their choice, go buy them some clothes and whatever. I mean,
Mr. Harden, what we'll do is, if I can get a motion to
I move
extend
to
this time.
extend the second.
Okay, without exception.
okay, I didn't hear what you said.
Continue.
Okay, basically, that's it. I just had 7 things, but the trash is unbelievable. These people, they're some of the trashiest people in the world. My street, my roads, it's just full of litter, stuff blows out of their trucks. It's unbelievable. Caddo Parish can come by, the prisoners can pick it all up one day, and the next day it's just this nasty and beer can. On my road right now, there's probably 100 beer cans because I ain't picked them up in 2 weeks. If you had a mandatory drug test or alcohol test, it might put a stop to it, but they're out there drinking, they're drunk, and they're drilling. No, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, next we'll have Mr. Wayne Woodson. If you will please state your name and address for the record, Mr. Woodson.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Wayne Woodson. I live at 4841 North Market Street, Port Louisiana 71107. And Madam President and the board, I appreciate you giving me this chance to speak. And reading here, Pine Hill Waterworks versus Market Street Square. And quickly, let me give you an overview of Market Street Square. It's a structure located at 4859 North Market. It consists of 5 units, 5 tenants, and a landlord. The tenants pays the rent, and the landlord manages the rent. And through managing the rent, it's used to trash pickup, water, outside lights, repairs, roofing, and all those types of things. And we have a tanning salon, and I'll come back to that in just a minute because I think that she's really going to get slammed unless that you all can help us. She only up for 7 months, and then she is down for 5 months. Pine Hill Waterworks distributed a letter dated January 5th to all the tenants, all 5 tenants, and the letter stated that each tenant water rate would be a $45 flat rate fee per month. And we only have 1 meter, so I attend the Pine Hill Waterworks meeting to try to compromise, and I went back for all 2008, and the water bill was under $600 a year. At the $45 per unit, the water bill would be $2,700 a year, which is $225 a month. Over a 5-year period, it would be under $3,000. And then their new plan would be for $18,500. In 10 years, it'd be under $6,000, and theirs would be $27,000. A tremendous increase on people that trying to make it, and they're having a hard time. And I asked President Miles, why did he, who asked him to do this? So he said the Louisiana Board of Ethics compelled them to do that. I said, well, who is this person and who did you contact? But they finally gave me a phone number. I called the Louisiana Board of Ethics, and I talked to Miss Kathleen Allen. She asked me to send her something in writing. I sent the corresponding in writing. I received a letter back from Miss Deborah Greer, who is executive secretary of the Louisiana Board of Ethics, and they informed me that my concern would be on the agenda of February 20th.
Mr. Woodson, let me get a motion for you to continue.
So moved. Second.
Without
Okay.
exception.
Thank you very much. So, I didn't get a letter back, but I called back to find, ask you what happened, because I went on the computer and my number was 2009-143, so I didn't see no information on it. So I called, and Mr. Michael Dupree, the gentleman on the board that had my project, he stated that they have nothing to do with the Pine Hill Waterworks. I called Mr. Foster Campbell's office. They had nothing to do with it. I called the utility service. I forget this gentleman's name. Everybody kind of pointed me back to you all. And I said, far as I know, the Caddo Parish Commission appoints the board member. And I said, I don't know, see what the requirement is, if they have a high school education or what, you ought to run this thing. See, but for me up there dealing with those people, it was a terrible thing to face. So they stood up on their two hind legs and they said they're going to go with it. So I'm here today to ask you all to take a look at this. My commissioner was there, and she seemed to me was supporting President Miles. So I turned to her and kind of, I don't hardly know what I said to her, but it insulted her. So I called her on to compromise and tell her I'm sorry if I hurt her feelings. But she really scolded me and let me know the Lord gave her this. And I didn't have no help, so I'm here for you all to help the tenants and help us out on this tremendous increase. I gave all of you a handout. And if y'all would take a look at it and get back with me on it, I certainly would appreciate it, because I am to protect my tenants. They're good. I have a low rent. See, this, I'm going to say that, but I'm going to give you a good point. Low rent enough to get by and keep a tenant is better than being vacant for 4, 5, 6 months. So anyway, there's no provision if the unit are vacant. This lady, see Miss Naomi at the suntan, is down for 5 months and still have to pay $45. That's a problem. So I appreciate anything y'all can do, and I'm looking for a positive response from you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Okay.
Next, we have Mr. Harold Fox. Mr. Fox, if you'll state your name and address for the record, please.
Harold Fox, 6115 Victoria Lane, Keithville, Spring Ridge subdivision. And I'm here to update the commission on the problems we're still having with having a gas company come through our subdivision to operate wells. Unfortunately, Mr. Smith's helping us out by keeping up on things, but last week we had a diesel fuel spill out on one of the roads, which we don't feel has been cleaned up properly. Anytime you have diesel fuel spill out on a main highway, you have a hazmat crew out there instead of some people who work for Chesapeake with a couple bags of floor dry. Anytime you can walk down the road and still smell diesel and see the diesel, it ain't cleaned up right. Pick up a little dirt, put some sod down, it's not done right. Still have people speeding through the subdivision. Still have lots of traffic, all hours of day and night. Chesapeake seems to think that it's our responsibility to make sure our roads are drivable. The one road that they've been tearing up was so ridged up you could almost bottom a car out. At the same time, they start pumping water with a water bridge across the other road, so that almost could bottom a car out on. We're not seem to be getting a whole lot of help from Chesapeake, and we're really getting tired of it and wish we could, Chesapeake could, would help us. We wish the commission could help us also. I have a petition going around asking, everyone in the subdivision to help support the commission to help get us out of this situation. Thank you.
I have no other cards. Is there anyone else here that needs to fill out a card to speak? I'll take a motion to move back into regular session.
So moved. Second.
Not exception. Next item, Mrs. Spears.
Zoning case P209, ordinance 4866, Monica Joy Severs, applicant requesting rezone property from I-2 to R1D, one family residence. Surely he does know
Is
that.
there anyone here to speak in favor of this zoning case? Is there anyone here to speak in opposition? I'm sorry, in favor, I'm sorry. State your name and address for the record. You're speaking in favor, right?
Yes, in favor. Rob Mears, 2532 Lakeway Court. Yeah, on behalf of Monica Joy Sears, nothing to get it done. That's all.
Okay. Thank you. Is there anyone here to speak in opposition to this zoning case? Mr. Spears?
Okay, that concludes public hearing on zoning cases. We move to public hearing on ordinances. We have one, that being 4867, authorized permanent right-of-way and servitude on parish property in section 4.
Is there anyone here to speak in favor of this ordinance? Is there anyone here to speak in opposition? Next, Mr. Spears?
That's the end of that. We have work session minutes for 2 meetings.
Second.
I saw the second. Do we have the 16th as well?
Yes.
Okay.
No, wait a minute, I'm sorry, you don't. No, you don't have the 16th.
Okay, so that motion is for the,
That was the one.
for March the 2nd?
Not enough hours between yesterday and today.
All right. Please vote. Okay. Next item?
Return to the zoning ordinance. You just had a public hearing on ordinance 4866, rezones property for one-family residence use.
Second.
Request to speak.
It was moved by Commissioner Thibodeau, second by Commissioner Baker. Any discussion? Commissioner Cox?
There's been some dialogue with our attorney, and I think he can explain it better, but I think that we have not properly acknowledged this as far as giving enough time.
Madam President,
Okay, Commissioner, I'm sorry, Attorney Grubb?
let me first of all say, I pushed my button.
No, that's fine, there's nothing up, there's no name.
I don't think it'd be appropriate for the commission to finally pass either this or the next ordinance today because, first of all, the public hearings have not been, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Spears, but the public hearing was advertised for Thursday. That's rather than today. And secondly, the charter requires that ordinances lay over for 14 days, not less than 14 days before final passage, and these ordinances have only laid over for 12. As I think I mentioned to you, Madam President, I've talked to the zoning applicant, and the zoning case is not critical to be finally passed today. It would be my recommendation to postpone final adoption of both these ordinances until the next meeting. And to reschedule a public hearing at that time, too, to have a public hearing and that has been copyrighted.
I withdraw my motion at this time. Oh, no, that was Thibodeau's
It was
motion.
Commissioner Thibodeau.
I withdraw it and we'll carry it over.
Withdraw myself.
Motion to carry over to, I believe it's April 9th.
Second. Please vote.
Point of information, if I might.
Yes.
Are we including the ordinance also?
We'll do it separate.
Are we doing separate? Okay.
Commissioner Jenkins, Commissioner Cox.
Is there more just number 4860?
Right, just the first one. 66. 4866.
4866?
Yes, sir. Okay, that passes. Next item?
Yes, or the final passage ordinance 4867. I presume you're going to hear from Mr. Grubb again on this.
Yes, I'll need a motion to move that public hearing to April the 9th.
Move that ordinance 4867 of 2009 be moved forward to the April 9th meeting.
Okay, Moved by Commissioner Epperson, second by Commissioner Pearson. Any discussion? Please vote. That passes. Next, Mrs. Spears.
Yes, you have some ordinances for introduction by title. First one being ordinance 4868, declare certain adjudicated property to be surplus and authorize sale of the tax interest. Ordinance 4869 grants an encroachment on North Point Circle, a public residential street for the construction of an access gate. Ordinance 4870 authorizing surface and subsurface agreement with Chesapeake Operating pertaining to use of surface and subsurface of portion of Eddie Jones Park, including access. Ordinance 4871 authorizes the administrator to execute an easement and right-of-way agreement with Louisiana Midstream Gas Services pertaining to the granting of an easement and right-of-way for the purpose of constructing and maintaining an oil and gas pipeline across a portion of Eddie G. Jones Park. Next, you have one resolution, resolution number 6, authorizes the administrator to consent to the annexation by the city of Shreveport of certain rights-of-way within the parish.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Escudé, second by Commissioner Cox. Any discussion? Please vote. Next item. That passes.
Oh, yeah, resolution 7 urges the expeditious installation of railroad crossing in Tree Park.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Cox, second by Commissioner Thibodeau. Any discussion? Please vote. Just give it to Vita. Okay, Commissioner Escudé voted in the affirmative, Ms. Vita.
New business, authorized travel for commissioners to attend the annual NOPCO Economic Development Conference in Miami, Florida.
So moved. Second. Moved by Commissioner Pearson, second by Commissioner Baker. Any discussion? Please vote. It passes. Next item.
Confirm rescheduling of commission meeting from July 23rd to July 21st due to a conflict with the NACO convention.
So moved.
Second. Moved by Commissioner Epperson, second by Commissioner Smith. Any discussion? Commissioner Epperson?
Mr. Spears and Ms. Samuels, now, this will give us ample time where we won't have a situation as of today, right? The only reason that this happened was because of what we did yesterday.
Yes.
And it may be for the future, and I think I had spoken with Mr. Grubbs. You know, when we declared to publicize the meetings, and I think we're around January of each year, if we would look at the dates of our conferences, and then we would make those adjustments accordingly within that particular vote, then that way we'll know well in advance what we have to do, and we can avoid, you know, this type of situation in the future, if that may be an option. That would be permissible legally.
Yes, sir. The only, I mean, if y'all were to introduce any ordinances the meeting before that, you would have the same situation you had today, and that there has to be a fourth.
Right, but I'm just saying.
But other than that.
Right, if we do it during our first meeting as we normally, you know how we call the deal?
Yes,
We
sir.
schedule the meetings, if we would look ahead.
Yes, sir.
And all of the conferences, if there's a conflict, if we would make those adjustments in January.
That's right.
Then therefore that should alleviate any cause, unless some special circumstance arises. Thank you.
Please vote. That passes. Next item, Mrs. Spears.
Confirm appointment of Mr. Robert Stewart to replace Reginald Johnson on the Zoning Board of Appeals.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Pearson, second by Commissioner Cox. Any discussion? Please vote. That passes. Next item.
Authorize a resolution of congratulations to Mary Ann Tice for her successful work on the Bassmasters.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Pearson, second by Commissioner Cox. Commissioner Thibodeau?
I wonder if we could, excuse me, if we could do this when Ms. Tice could be present to receive it.
Yes, this is just authorizing
Okay.
the preparation of the
All right.
resolution. So we'll make sure, Mr. Wilson, when we get it at our next meeting, that she's here. Thank you. Okay, please vote.
Got a comment.
Okay, that passes. Commissioner Epperson?
Mr. Wilson, are we still tweaking on our communication system here? I see we're still having problems.
Yeah, so we thought it'd be good to go, but we can make some adjustments on it.
Okay, because see, we aren't getting, things registering. We're still having problems, aren't we, Madam President?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, we'll let the city operators know that they need to give that some attention.
Commissioner Cox?
Just let Madam President know on your Friday, March 27th, retreat, I will not be able to attend due to business. And you may want to get a head count just to get you a heads up. But I won't be, I'll be there in spirit.
Okay. All righty. Seeing no other commissioners,
Move for adjourn.
meeting adjourned.
I will.
It's only 4 o'clock already.
So what, I still... So what, I know the guy first
24 Maze Road in Bethany, Louisiana. And I got 3 minutes.